very good morning to our listeners. This is also going to be an extended edition of the program Nigeria Today, and we shall be looking at yet another issue this morning again. Of course, it is going to be a special edition of the program, looking at the fact that it is something that is going to benefit you and I. This morning we have with us two groups that have come in to add value to our society, especially in the area of agriculture. You will agree with me that since the assumption of office of our amiable Governor Umar Mohamed Bagu, he has not hidden his desire to improve agriculture and to set up a robust atmosphere for agricultural activities in Niger State. And as a result of that, the farming season has been so eventful, so robust, and this is the harvest season. And for this, I have with me two groups that are related to issues of agriculture. First, we have the Harvest Plus, and then we have the Agricultural Graduates Association of Nigeria, AGAN. These two groups have come in to share with us some of their activities as part of the value chain of this robust agricultural policy. The Harvest Plus this morning have its country manager, Dr. Yusuf Fuad, who is here to represent the company. And you know, of course, the Harvest Fair is going to take place and tomorrow, and of course this is part of the build-up to that program. And I also have Engineer Abdulsalam Mohammed, who is the technical assistant to the Harvest Plus for Agricultural Graduates Association of Nigeria. And you know, the AGAN will also be having a stand at the fair tomorrow, and we shall be discussing all of that. Dr. Yusuf Fuad and Engineer Abdulsalam Mohammed, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, listeners. Good morning.
Thank you. Yes, Harvest Plus. What is the notion of Harvest Plus? Because the listener may want to know a little about the background of this particular organization.
All right, thank you, sir. Harvest Plus, what we do is to complement existing nutrition initiatives using a food-based approach. You know, once in a while you find these people that do these oral drops.
Exactly.
They come around homes and they administer drops on kids. Exactly. But that hasn't solved the nutrition problem. Then they came with another initiative and said, all right, let us look at foods that are packaged foods that are widely consumed, so that we'll ask processors to put these micronutrients in them, so that as we buy and consume, we have access. For example, in flour today, if you buy flour, a bag of flour, you see the sign of the I and letter A. Or if you buy a pack of sugar, you see the sign of the I and letter A, which means they've been fortified with vitamin A. But again, that hasn't solved the problem. Because, for example, now, most of the sugar we have around, they are packed in transparent packaging material.
Exactly.
And vitamin A is volatile in the presence of light. So if you pick some of these fruits from the shelves from the supermarkets and you do your analysis, laboratory analysis, you won't even find these micronutrients there. You know. So for us as Harvest Plus, we said, all right, since this hasn't solved the problem, we will also complement it with what we call food-based approach. For example, now in Niger State, which is an agrarian state, we consume what we produce from our farms. Even when you don't have a farm, you buy from a farmer.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. So if you say you want to solve nutrition challenges in Niger State using packaged foods, you know, we are community people here. We don't consume packaged foods. You understand? So that means that problem will still be with us. So what we can do now is to look at the food-based approach. The staple crops that we grow, we ensure that we develop them to have high levels of the essential micronutrients and vitamins that our body requires for us to live a healthy life. So we're targeting 3 micronutrients: vitamin A, iron, and zinc, because these are the 3 micronutrients mentioned by World Health Organization as most lacking in our diets in developing countries. So Harvest Plus operates in more than 40 countries. wherever we have nutrition challenges, Africa, Asia, and Latin America. So in Nigeria, we're looking at maize. Everybody consumes maize. Exactly. So we have what we call the vitamin A enriched maize. Then we also have cassava, which is vitamin A enriched cassava. We have sweet potato, which is also vitamin A enriched. Exactly. Now the millet is just, let's say, 65 gets to those that needs them. You understand? Yeah. So now again, as part of creating access, we also need to do a lot of sensitization, awareness creation, and all that. So as part of it, this food fair is one of those platforms that we've created, to ensure that we bring together different stakeholders to do advocacy, now to also push for policies within the states, or even at the federal level, to create that enabling environment. Because if you want the buy-in of the government into this type of initiative, if they don't have it as policy, they may not plan for it.
Exactly.
But if they don't plan for it, they will not budget for it. So the food fair is a 2-day event, holding from the 10th to 11th of this month, which is tomorrow and next tomorrow. Now, as part of the fair, we have conferencing, we have job creation activities, we have exhibitions. Now, for the job creation activities, because there are a lot of jobs within our agricultural value chains,
exactly.
Most especially, again, we have youths around that have gone to school, that have graduated, that are not employed, and they've not been able to key into most of these agricultural value chains or initiatives because we've not been able to package most of the jobs that we have in those value chains. So for us, we've been able to identify some of these attractive jobs, and we've packaged them into business models, in which we'll be running a job creation clinic for our younger ones to come and look at the kind of jobs that they think it suits their capacity. And most of these jobs, you don't even need much to even invest. Now in the southern part, we've been doing this for the past 10 years in the southern part. So we're also bringing some of the youths from the southern part that they've taken this as jobs, and they're making money from it, so that they can now come also here to be like role model for our own youths here. By the time our own youths see that, people have taken advantage of this and they've moved in life, they will also key into it.
Okay, thank you so much. This fair, where is the venue and what time is it?
Okay, the Justice Lebo Kutigi Conference Center.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, 10th and 11th of December.
Okay.
That's tomorrow and next tomorrow.
So are we expecting stand of various stakeholders?
Yes. Now we have exhibition stands of different nutritious food products to be exhibited by processors and SMEs from all over the country. We have SMEs coming from the southern part, southeast, from the southwest, south, northwest. They all be coming here and be exhibiting, and we also bring in, all the critical stakeholders within the agricultural value chains, policymakers, regulators. We're bringing everybody. Who is who in agriculture in Nigeria, most especially as it relates to nutrition-sensitive agriculture. We're bringing everybody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf Fuad. Okay, Engineer Abdulsalam Mohammed, looking at all of these opportunities that are being provided by Harvest Plus, how does AGAN intend to capitalize on this and harvest bumperly from this opportunity?
Well, Agricultural Graduate Association of Nigeria has been a partner of Harvest Plus for almost a decade now, and then we intend to host a side event at this auspicious occasion. We intend to train some of our private extension agents in terms of extension entrepreneurship, and as well as e-extension. Like you heard him say, there are a lot of package jobs or entrepreneurship opportunities across the value chain of nutritious food crops. So one of those is extension entrepreneurship, especially for our rural youths. So we intend to train them to understand the opportunities that are there. And we're also bringing in smart technologies to be able to help our rural communities adapt to challenges and of climate change. So we're going to bring modern and precision machineries such as a drone that is used for spraying. Also, we are promoting some technology in the area of solar-powered irrigation systems, as well as manual weeders, harvesters, and some easy-to-use power tillers. So all these equipments are going to be at our stands. We're also promoting the OFSP, that's the orange fletch potato. There's going to be the cassava, which we are promoting in some communities within the state, as well as the provitamin A maize. Yeah, and then we also intend to flag off our dry season production at this event. We intend to do this with communities in Kacha, Lavun, and Ushishi local government areas.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Abdusalam. Okay, Dr. Yusuf, let me come back to you again. Since coming to Niger State, were you able to get in touch with related organizations and associations like AGAN before coming to put up something like this? Because I know we have women groups who are into agricultural activities within the value chain, and we have also the National Association of the Rice Producers Association, and all those
commodity associations. Yeah. So Harvest Plus is an international organization. So definitely, if we must operate in the country, it has to be with structures that are available within the country and within the states, within the local government areas, and within the communities. So now in Niger State, we work across different stakeholders, from the government through its various ministries, most especially the Ministry of Agriculture. And we also work with farmer-based associations, commodity-based associations. We work with agro-dealers, because it's a chain. It's a chain, because as we develop these varieties and we get these varieties released, we ensure that the varieties, they leave the research institutes and they get to the seed companies. The seed companies will multiply it into what we call certified seed. This is the seed that they sell to farmers, and farmers buy and plant. And as the seed companies multiply these seeds into certified seeds, they also will do connection between the seed companies and the agro dealers. Now, those agro dealers living with within the states and also within our communities. Now, because you see, most of the seed companies, they operate from Zaria, mostly Zaria and Kaduna. So you must do that connection, so that the agro dealers we have within Niger State, they can also have the supplies. When the agro dealers have the supplies, you also need to do a lot of sensitization, awareness creation, demand creation, so that farmers will be aware before they can buy.
Exactly.
Because if they buy, the agro dealer is able to sell, he becomes happy, and the coming season, he'll still patronize the seed company. But at the same time, again, for the farmer to also continue buying those seed varieties, we also try to create markets for the farmers, so that we all work with large-scale food manufacturers, those that will adopt some of these varieties as raw material. For example, most of the cornflakes you find in Nigeria today are manufactured using the vitamin A maize. So they do large-scale procurement. As they do the large-scale procurement for the grains in our various markets, that stimulates market for the smallholder farmer. And for the smallholder farmer, the first thing he looks at before adopting any variety, it's the market, how it's able to sell. To produce, to be able to sell. Now, in as much as the farmers make money from it, because the varieties are also high yielding, but that's when they harvest. And also, even when they mill it, the flour yield, for example, for the maize is high, and that is another consideration for farmers to also adopt varieties. Now, with all this, we ensure that every stakeholder, let's say from government departments, parastatals, agencies, regulatory bodies like the Seed Council, and we carry everybody along. So every state you see us operating in, we work with multi-stakeholder. But again, in Niger State, Niger State is a special state because we also having the buy-in of the First Lady of the state, because she's also ensuring that our local communities, they have access to these nutritious foods. Because if the husbands, the men, if they produce it, the women should also be able to integrate it into family meals. How the women are able to utilize it so that they retain the nutrients when they feed it to the family. Now, one of the adverse effects of not consuming nutritious food, let me even say one here. Now, this a process we call hidden hunger. Hidden hunger is a process where you are eating food quite alright, and you think that when you eat the food you get satisfied, but
it's not adding value to the system.
Exactly. So your body is not getting the right micronutrients and vitamins that you require. So for us here, once we eat our 2 and we fill our stomachs, and for us we're satisfied. Not knowing that you need to eat nutritious food before your stomach will now process the food. Your eye will take what it requires, your blood will take what it requires from the food. But if you eat food that's is deficient from this, you're starving your system.
And let me interject here. Nutritious food must not necessarily be expensive food.
No, not at all. Not at all. Exactly. Now, most especially here,
because the notion of our people. The notion of our people is that when you say good food, what comes to mind is you spend money.
Sir, we're already producing the nutritious foods here. In fact, our traditional crops here are nutritious. But the problem is that we produce and we feed other part of the country with the nutritious foods. You understand? For example, the people from the south, they come here, they buy, and they take it there. Because the awareness, nutritional awareness is more in the south.
Exactly.
You understand? Now, for us here, we have traditional crops. For example, now, let's say bambara nut, the one we call kwaruru. Exactly. Which is on people neglect crops like that. And these are very, very high value crops. So already we have the nutritious crops. So what we need to do is to do a lot of awareness creation, sensitization, so that our, most especially mothers from the communities, they will be able to understand that yes, for me to feed my family, this is what I need to do. And also knowing that the food that the child needs is not what that adult also requires. For example, now our mothers, once they start nursing a baby, and once in a while as they eat, they use their finger and pick the food, some of the food, and put in the mouth of the baby. By the time the baby starts licking, the food, she becomes happy. My baby has started eating. Not knowing that what you as an adult need as a food, that is not what that child requires. So we keep pumping our kids with such kind of foods. And at the end of the day, these children will come up with this situation I mentioned as hidden hunger. And again, we're told that in the first 1,000 days of a child, if you miss these micronutrients and vitamins, it also affects the development of the child's brain, because that is the period that the child's brain develops. The day the woman takes in, and that 9 months period until the child gets to his first and second birthday, that is 1,000 days. So within this period, if the child misses these things, it affects the development of the child's brain, and once it happens, it's irreversible. It's a permanent damage, and that child will not live to full potential. If you send that child to school, he will not be competitive. He can't compete with his peers. Exactly. And at the same time, now such children, those with those kind of brain, they can easily be manipulated. Let me even tell you one thing. In Nigeria today, areas that we have serious nutrition problems are the same areas we have security challenges. Is that not true?
Exactly.
So somebody with a functional brain, even when you give him a stick to eat the next person, he'll think twice. But somebody who doesn't have a functional brain, easily manipulated, you give him gun, and he goes into a community and he wipes the whole of the community. Now, and again, look again, the areas where we have nutrition challenges in this country, those are the areas that when children write examination, children perform woefully. Just look at it and see.
Exactly.
Now, in the just what they call the protest that happened,
the end bad governance
exactly.
protest.
You could see an army of youths. If they descend on a building, within 30 minutes from the roof to the tile of that building is gone.
Yes.
That should give us a serious concern. Our problem, whatever that we must fix in this country, if we don't start from nutrition, honestly, we're just joking.
We're just joking. That is good. That is the right word. Of course, we need to pay attention to our nutrition. These are things that we have here locally. They can be sourced, and you don't need to spend much to get all of this. But for you to have most of this awareness, you also need to attend the Harvest Plus event, which is coming up tomorrow, 10th of December, and next tomorrow, 11th of December, at the Idris Lebo Kutigi International Conference Center by 10 o'clock in the morning.
By 10
in the morning.
Yeah, the setup starts from 9.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So as from 9, you should be heading to that venue so that you can have first-hand information about nutrition and about all the activities that have been put in place by Harvest Plus. Don't forget that the program is Nigeria Today, an extended version, and I have with me Dr. Yusuf Fuad, who is the country manager of Harvest Plus, as well as Engineer Abdulsalam Mohammed, who is the Agricultural Graduate Association of Nigeria, AGAN. He's their representative here. They will also be having a stand there, and so many other stands that you are likely to visit there and probably try to see how you can do business